Hello, today I'm sharing bits of video from various sketches I've done in the last couple of weeks. This first one I did with my travel art kit on my day working at the gallery. I drew a pencil outline in the Talens Art Creation Sketchbook, and I wanted more of an opaque gouache look, so just on a paper pad. I mixed up some white Holbein gouache that I had with me with watercolours. So here's the sky developing first of all. And here's my white gouache mixed with varying amounts of watercolours off to the side. I then fill in the fields with an assortment of greens. In my travel palette I've got Daniel Smith's Undersea Green and I've got a Nicolazo Yellow, plus I mix up some of my own greens and then all of them are mixed with the white gouache. When the field areas are all dry, I paint in the boundaries. I then add in a few more tree details and put some lines in the fields. I'm aiming for a more stylised look here. And then finally I add some Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils to give the trees and bushes some branches. This is based on a photo I took of a hill in our village. Next I did a quick Splodge and Scribble painting in bed one evening. The watercolour layer of this was done very quickly, again in a Talens Art Creation sketchbook. I then added coloured pencil details and a few splodges of distress crayons. I also used a white Tempera paint stick and a lilac Stabilo woody pencil. Again, this was based on a photo which I'd taken, this time in Scotland. And then on another day in the art gallery, I'd painted this fox. This time I used some Paul Rubens 100% cotton watercolour paper, and I started off with the pencil sketch. My reference this time was a small picture in a local magazine. I did a base layer of watercolours all over first of all. I had my new Art Toolkit Folio palette, which I put together in a recent video with me. And the orange colour of the fox is all done using Lutea orange. The grey shadow areas are done using Rosa Gallery's Cobalt Grey. I'm not sure what the black lines are over the fox photo in the magazine. I didn't put them on. And here's my nice new folio palette. I really like the water mixing areas. I then added another layer of the Lutea orange, as well as a little bit of raw sienna for the slightly more yellowy areas. And then I added some Hematite Genuine and Sodalite, both from Daniel Smith, for the areas of deeper shadow. I didn't spend a great deal of time on this, but it was really enjoyable, and the Lutea orange is an absolute joy to use. It's just such a textured and interesting paint. And then whilst I still had my new paint palette out, I just felt like playing with the colours and I did this doodle, and I went over the top with some of my mixed media materials. It was just total fun experimenting with different mark making. Back at home I got out these blank window cards and a little frame with a similar sized hole which I can move around over patterned paper and kind of audition which bits I want to appear in the cards. So I've got this floral sheet which I'd painted, plus the abstract one which I've just shown you that I'm going to be making cards from. When I've found a section that I like, I just cut out with scissors an area slightly larger than the window. I hold the two sheets together and then just cut around the back of the patterned paper. I also cut out a bigger section to make a card for my mum, and I'm just selecting an alphabet die cutter to put some lettering on. I've got out my scruffy old Sizzix Big Shot machine, which has a big roller that presses cardboard down onto the die cutter and cuts out the letters I want. I use a chisel-tipped glue pen to dot glue onto the back of the letters. I figure I'd better start with the U so that I can place it centrally in the card. The letters need holding in place for a few moments just till the glue sets. Then to make the window cards, I put a bit of brown picture framers tape along one edge of my pattern piece, and then I can place the card down in exactly the right position and then tape the other sides down. I use a tape runner to stick the inside cover down. And a bone folder to get a really clean fold. I pop a shorthand signature on the front of the card, which I tend to do if there's a handmade element to the card, and I put it in a cellophane bag. And I do that for the rest of the sections which I cut out. I'm able to sell cards at a monthly craft market, which I do, and in a gallery which I'm part of. I also made the fox painting, which I did earlier, into another card, which is for my mother-in-law. It's British Mothering Sunday, this coming Sunday. So these are just a few bits I've done over the last couple of weeks. Hopefully they were worthwhile showing. And sorry about my slightly croaky voice. I've had a bit of a cold the last little while. And for whoever needs to hear this, please, if you feel like doing some art, just get out some paper and any kind of medium and go for it. It doesn't have to be anything amazing, but the more comfortable we get with doing this, the more we can get over our perfectionism and the fear that we have around starting art. I've been asking people who come into the art gallery if they enjoy doing art. And I've had some really lovely conversations with people who say that they've enjoyed doing art in the past but haven't done any for a long time, or that they'd like to get started. And I've encouraged them to get their art stuff out and make some time. And we've just had some really happy conversations about art. And I can see their enthusiasm to give it a go. So even if it's just swatching some colours or splodging a few colours down, like I've done here, I think it's never a waste of time in your art journey. Thanks ever so much for watching. Bye!